I'm live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Saturday Night Hockey Talk Live. It's not Saturday Night Live. That's copywritten. It's Saturday Night Hockey Talk Live. Hey, everybody. Okay, let's see who was in. Anyways, hey, everybody who's here. Hey, Philly 5-0, Sleepy NHL, David Arthur. Scotty was in there before. He's gone up on the top there now. Hey, Noah. Hey, there's a big trade. Did you guys hear about the trade? I'm going to announce it right now. If you haven't heard. I don't know if you can see this. Jeez, lighting. So Alex Galchenyuk gets traded to Pittsburgh for Phil Kessel. Alex Galchenyuk gets traded. That's kind of funny a year later. And kind of funny who he got traded for. Phil Kessel and Galchenyuk, both kind of guys that have attitude problems. Anyways, okay, they also get, Pittsburgh also gets Pierre-Olivier Joseph. So if you don't know anything about him, just to let you know, he's a 19-year-old left shot defenseman, drafted 23rd overall in 2017. He's 6'2", 161. Apparently, he has trouble gaining weight to play in the NHL. That's his big problem. Played in Drummondville last year, 35 games, 2 goals, 22 assists for 24 points, and a plus 28. He'll play for Wilkes-Barre Scranton next year in the AHL. And Arizona gets Kessel at a 4th rounder. It wasn't clear if it was next year or in 2021. So let's look at what you guys are saying. Hey, everybody. Hey, Aram. Hey, Johnny Golden, Trent McDonald. Let's get to some of the questions. Will Patches be traded within the next week? Somebody's going from Vegas. They got to really clear some cap space. You notice they traded that guy Colin Miller. I don't know if he's here. I don't think he's here. VGK. I consider him a friend. We've never met or anything. He's a big Knights fan, and apparently Miller wasn't that great, so I got rid of him. That's a bit of cap. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know if Patches will get traded. Hab is looking for backup like McElhaney or however you spell it. Dad, it's not an easy one to spell. You haven't got it right, but don't worry about it. Yeah, Bergman has said, I saw that, I guess it was just after the draft or something, or just before the draft. And he was saying, yeah, he's definitely looking at the market for a backup goalie. He's going to try to sign somebody. He's not going to count on Lindgren definitely making that. But imagine Lindgren's in the race. Don't forget, hey, if they can pick up a guy like McElhaney, but say Lindgren totally outplays the guy, I think you can trade McElhaney. You won't get that high a contract. Let's see. Hey, Noah. Trent, I saw something about Sens taking the Sens taking Zaitsev for. I haven't seen that. I know that Zaitsev is still on the market. I heard something about CC probably last week. But I haven't heard that rumor, so I can't really talk about it. Sleepy NHL, it's either him or Kincaid. Yeah, I would think because they've talked about. Actually, I shouldn't say that they've talked to McElhaney. That I didn't hear, but I know they've talked to Kincaid already. So I imagine Kincaid definitely in their sights anyway. Let's see. Send me a Schwartz smoked meat, no mustard. Hey, first of all, if I could do it, I would, but what do you mean no mustard? How could you eat a smoked meat sandwich without mustard? Sorry, but that's just me. Hey, George. Galchenyuk got traded. Yeah, I just announced it. Galchenyuk traded for Kessel. Yeah. I saw it. I was just flipping through. I don't know if anybody watches Gravite. I don't know how he pronounces that. But, I mean, I've subscribed to him. I see. But I caught one of his videos, and I thought he was joking, but obviously wasn't. So like 5 minutes before the stream started, so I couldn't do a video on it. Gonna get soggy. Well, you could have mustard on the side there, Philly. Okay, I'll tell you what. If I can do it, you send me a Philly cheesesteak, and I'll try to send you a smoked meat. But I don't know. I'd rather go there and have it fresh there. Let's see. Okay, wait. Now, George is saying Zaitsev got traded. Who did Zaitsev get traded to? I didn't hear anything about that yet. Johnny, apparently we're in on Curtis McElhaney. I would have to think we're in on Curtis McElhaney. Because to me, that's the guy, because you can get McElhinney for, from what I even heard, a year. You sign him to a year, see if Lindgren can, or Primo might be ready in a year to back up Price. Primo's got to play a year in Laval. I wouldn't want him up there right away. But yeah, you want to sign a guy like McElhinney or Kincaid for a very short period of time at a very small amount. So, and a movable contract, hopefully. Although for goalies, it shouldn't be a problem at some point if you need to trade them. Okay, someone said apparently for Ceci. So are we saying Zaitsev did get traded for Ceci? I don't know what Ceci's making, but I imagine that's a pretty good move for Toronto. Zaitsev, from what I understand anyways, was more like a forward, wasn't really a good defenseman. So I imagine that's a good deal for Toronto. And I would think if they did that, getting a guy like Ceci, I doubt they're going to re-sign Gardner. Although I kind of don't want Montreal to sign Gardner. I don't know. The signing of Riley is kind of, I don't know if it's weird or what their plans are. It's not to be the third pairing guy. I would think he's going to be like Folan on the left, so on the left side, and there's still something to come on the D. Anyways, super early. It's not till Monday that everything happens. By the way, I'll be streaming again on Monday. I don't know exactly what time. I guess now that I see I can announce it ahead of time, once I decide, keep a look on Monday. I'm going to start at some point. I guess it's till 3 in the afternoon, so I'll probably start around 11 or 12, I guess. I'm not sure yet. And it depends. We might get a lot of action in the next couple of days. There might not be much happening on that day. So we'll see. Okay, let me get back to you guys. Okay, Duchesne signing with the Habs. Yeah, I know. I kind of don't want that, but it looks like Montreal is definitely really in the mix for it. I would think. I don't know if he's after money necessarily. I guess if Montreal is going to sign him, he's not necessarily after money because they would think Nashville is going to offer more. Plus, the tax bracket there is a lot easier for him. He comes out with a good $1 million or so more. So it depends if he's after money or he wants to go to the team that he grew up loving. I don't know. Now, that's not to say that if Duchesne signed here that I would be unhappy. I think could be good, but you guys watch Hockey Guy a lot, I imagine. I watch Hockey Guy. He was going over Duchesne. This is kind of a career year. He had a career year in his contract year. That's not a great sign going forward. So you throw a ton of money at him. Does he produce the 70 points again? I don't know. I don't feel good about it, but he's still going to be a top-line center. That's no doubt about that. Okay, let me get back. You guys are. I'm scrolling, or I'm not scrolling, or something. I didn't see that he got traded. I saw that it was in the workings, but not official, according to Friedman. Yeah, I haven't heard anything. But, things are going to happen snap, snap, snap like that in the next couple of days. I would imagine it's going to be pretty quick. Something, well, the Galchenyuk Kessel trade, I didn't hear anything about that. And then, boom, that was kind of a surprise. I knew Galchenyuk was on the block and Kessel was on the block. I just didn't hear anything about them getting traded for each other at all. I did know that he wanted to go to Arizona. He did want to go to Arizona. Crazy Jedi. Yes, of course I remember you. Why would I not remember you? Johnny, yes. Curtis McElhinney, really good short term. Yes. And apparently 1 or 2 years. That's about it. Well, he's 35, so you're not going to sign him long anyway. Let's see. Crazy Jedi, I'm good. You? George, I found something in Montreal Twitter. Wait, I'll show. Okay. I guess that's about the trade. Noah from Newfoundland. Hey, Noah. I got a few people from Newfoundland. Scotty's out there. There's a few guys from Newfoundland out there. Okay, well, I gotta check it out. Can you tell us what it says, George? Because it's kind of hiding it from me. Montreal wants Panarin or Duchesne. Not Panarin. I hope not Panarin. Panarin's going to break the bank. That's the problem. And same thing with Duchesne. That's the problem. But Panarin's even more money. He's asking like 11, 12, 13 million. It's ridiculous. Let's see. If we can't get Duchesne, what about Corey Perry? No, not Corey Perry, please. Are you like serious about Corey Perry? He's old. I mean, what do you think he's going to add? Isn't his back a problem or something's wrong with him? Yeah, I mean, he just got a buyout. So I guess on the power play he could help, but I'd like to fix the power play some way, another way. I mean, how much is he going to want? I mean, if you can sign him for $1 million, very short term, I guess you could give it a try. But we've done that. How many years have we done that with players, and it doesn't work out? So I don't really want to see Perry here. I mean, he's got probably good in the room and all that stuff, but that's, I don't know. It wasn't a credible source that I saw, but what I saw, he may take a pay cut to play for the Habs. Well, if we're talking about Corey Perry, he's going to have to take a pay cut. Or if we're talking about Duchesne, still, what's a pay cut? $9 million instead of 9.5 or 10, 8.5. I think it's still, I think it's still too much. Especially we got such a young and upcoming team. We got a lot of prospects. I'm not, I want to see a cup, but I don't have to see one next season. I don't mind developing a team that will win the cup, that gels together, and you have mostly the same team going forward for 4 or 5 years, and they win a cup or two. I kind of like to see that. So, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Duchesne's favorite team growing up was it was not the Avs. It was the Habs. His father or grandfather loved the Habs. He grew up loving the Habs. He's got a lot of family here too. So I know he has a connection to Montreal. And there's a good chance that he's going to sign here. I get that. It's not. Not my favorite choice for what we need. So, although look, it does immediately improve our centers. You got a number one center. Deneau becomes. I think you probably push Domi over to the wing. Deneau becomes second center. Kokanyemi, Paling, something like that. But I mean, look, Paling is definitely ready. Paling needs a spot. Kokanyemi's got a spot. Deneau's got a spot. You're not getting rid of Deneau. You need a guy like that. That two-way. You need a guy like that. There's only one spot then, maybe, right? And then you got Thompson. So I don't know where they're going. So if they signed Duchesne, I would imagine there's going to be other moves after that. We'll see. And I kind of think if they're going to sign Duchesne, you're going to hear it pretty quickly right after the signing period starts. I don't know if it's midnight or what, but you're going to hear it pretty quickly. Because I think wherever he's going to sign is between Nashville and Montreal. He's ready to sign. They've talked to. They know what he wants. I mean, it won't take long. Yeah, I'm babbling. Sorry, Saturday night. Yeah, because his dad loved Quebec. Yeah, his dad was a big Montreal Canadiens fan. Man, that flashed really fast. Where am I? Sorry, I don't want to. Oh, yeah, there he is. His dad loved Quebec. Yeah. Well, he's got family here. He's got French family. Duchesne is a French name. He's not French. He's born in Ontario. But there's a lot of French people in Ontario. There's a lot of English people here in Quebec. Same thing. But Ontario has probably the most French population other than Quebec, I think. And one of the maritime provinces. Philly looks like Duchesne to Montreal. That's what everyone says. We won't know till it happens. Crazy Jedi. Kessel on my mind is going to finish his career with a team that could contend. But the coaches would need to be replaced to help the team. Kessel, he's not a team guy. Kessel was looking out for himself. Somebody I know knows somebody who knows a friend who's a friend of Kessel's. And apparently I don't know him to say, but he's not the nicest guy. I'll put it that way because I don't want to slander a guy I don't really know. Hearsay, but that's what I heard. Let's see. He's washed up. Kessel's not washed up, but I mean, he's really a defensive liability. He can still score, but not like he used to, maybe. But he can. I wouldn't have him on my team. Let's see. We can get the Valerie guy who's with Dallas because he's getting a buyout. The guy in Dallas is getting a buyout. I saw a hockey guy talk about it. I don't think I want that guy. He doesn't score. I think you're talking about Nicolishin or something like that. No. Maybe it's different scenery might work, but I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, if you're going to bring in somebody like that, we got so many prospects. They might not be ready. I kind of think Suzuki's going to spend it, part of the next season, at the very least, part of next season in Laval. I don't think he'll start. He might get a couple of games, but he's not going to start here. We should trade Drouin for Gossesbeer. Yeah, I think that's out the window at this point. I really do. It'll surprise me at this point if Gossesbeer comes here, and it'll be for Drouin. I'm not saying I don't think Drouin will get traded anymore, but I don't think that deal is still out there. You guys from Philly, Philly 5-0, do you any talk on the radio there about that deal still being open? NPC, if I haven't said hi, because I didn't remember seeing your stuff there. My point about Corey Perry, okay, it was you, Corey Perry, that usually no one signs we usually have to take risks. No, I get that. So just like Eric Stahl, he might have a bounce back year. It's not a high risk. Wasn't Eric Stahl younger, though? I mean, Perry is what, 36 by now? 35, 36? I think Stahl was like 31 or 32. That's a difference. It's a risk. I get it. It is a high risk. It depends on how much you're paying him. If you can get him for, say, 2 seasons at $2 million, I mean, it's not as high a risk, but will he sign for that? And does he? We're a really fast team. Can he keep up even on the power play? This is a speed team, a young speed team. Can a guy like Corey Perry fit into this lineup? I don't know. Let's see. I think Trent says, I think we signed Duchesne. We have to trade away Shaw and Byron and bring in some entry-level contract players to fill the spots. You know, Shaw, I kind of really think Shaw is going to get traded. If you're going to trade Shaw, this is the year, especially the contract. It's not the easiest contract to move, but it's not impossible, and his value is at its highest. And I guess we all kind of know he gets the wrong hit, career could be over too. So if you're going to be able to trade Shaw, I mean, you might trade him. I mean, as long as you get value back. And Byron, yeah, I don't know. Byron, if there's a spot for him, I imagine this is what we're going to find out. I would think, depending if they sign a free agent, it's going to say a lot to who's going to go. I would think. Duchesne will cost $10 million. Yep, that's what they're saying. And then they're talking. You guys are talking, or someone's talking Panarin, and Panarin's even more. So, okay, I lost something. I scrolled too far. Oh, there we are. Okay, let's all be honest. We have about 10 million cap space. Yeah. And use it smart for a team and not just pay a star player. Well, that's what I'm saying, Crazy Jedi. I'm saying the same thing. You can't go spend it all on one guy, because if you do that, I mean, we gotta re-sign Domi soon, or extend his contract. He's gonna get more. Haven't signed Armia yet. Armia is gonna get a raise. We haven't signed. Well, the kids coming in once their entry levels are up. Kopiemi soon. Paling right behind, then Suzuki, assuming they make the team. Where's the money going to come from if you sign a guy like Duchesne or Panarin and you give them all what your cap space is right now? I don't see it. Yes, the cap is going to go up, but not in such huge increments for at least next year. I think next year is going to go up again. 2 million, maybe 2.5. That's it. Then when the new TV contract, if they got that worked out, kicks in, that's different. It'll go up more, but you still have all these kids. And I don't think Bergevin works that way anyway by these big guys. They might sign Duchesne, I get that, but to me, it's not the Canadians' way to do it anymore. Duchesne is a 50 to 60 points guy, and he's going to get paid $10 million because he had one. That's kind of what I'm saying. I think the 50 to 60 is his range. I think his ceiling was 70. I don't think that's, I don't know. My opinion, he doesn't go much beyond that. So people are saying 80, 90. I don't see it. 80, I don't see it. Especially when a guy's playing for a contract. How often does a guy playing for a contract live up to that for the next 2-3 years after he signs a big deal? That's something, I don't know how I would research it. I'm not experienced enough. And I don't know if the hockey guy has done a video on that, but that's an interesting video. A guy signs a big deal like that. How many of them actually go on and produce or have a drop off back to their normal for the previous 3-4 years, whatever their average was? And the average for Duchesne for the last 3 years before the 70 was in the 50s. So maybe 1 year in the 60s. That's his normal. Let's see. I saw as well that Montreal is going to be trying Suzuki at center. That's what he says. That's what he says. They want him as a center, and I like that. I'd rather see. I'll tell you, I'm hoping the next video that comes out won't be tomorrow because I'm helping somebody moving day on Monday, so I'm helping tomorrow. But I should have it ready for draft day, free agent day. It's a video about Suzuki and about the perception. There's an article out there already I'm getting this from, so people can't say I stole it. But I was looking around for what to do, and there's a perception that Suzuki is a little like Drouin, and he's not. It just looks like that. Anyway, I'm doing a video about that. I'm percolating right now. I'm going to start trying to write it tomorrow and finish it tomorrow night. So I'm previewing it. So Suzuki is a center, and Suzuki is a lot better than he looks. When you look at him, his energy levels and all that, there's more going on there than you think. And up here, oh boy, that guy's got it going on. New Brunswick is a French place. My uncle's, New Brunswick, yeah. Nouveau Brunswick. Yeah, that's where the Acadians. The Acadians are from the Maritimes. Hey, David Bridges. Hey, thanks for coming in and saying, hey, hope you enjoy yourself. Daniel 15, didn't get the message. You got retracted, or you probably did. Philly 50, nope, I'm not sure why you're saying nope. And boom, it's gone away from me again. Okay, hang on, getting back there. Okay, Suzuki is a hell of a good player when he puts the work. He could have been on the roster for the season, but he had a bad attitude. So he didn't have a bad attitude. This is what basically, if I write it correctly, what's going on in my head about the video, I'm going to try to dispel that rumor that he's got a bad attitude or that he doesn't always try hard. David, how much would I give up for a championship? Well, look, for me, I've been through 8 of them. I'd like to see another one, but I don't know what you're talking about. You say, would I give my left arm? No. Players-wise, you can't give up too much or you won't get that championship. I'd love to see a championship. Have you seen one yet? Have you been alive long enough to get it's been 20 years or more. I don't know how many years now. I got to see 8. Daniel, 2 more nights to dream for the dream line. Drouin, Duchesne, Domi. Yeah. Well, we'll find out. I don't think it'll take long. I think Duchesne's going to get snapped up by either Nashville or Montreal pretty damn quickly. And we're going to get a visit from my cat in a second. I can see she's angling. Here, come on. Come on. Come and see. Everybody wants to see you. Don't step on the computer, though. Hang on, guys. Ugh, this is my 19-year-old cat. Okay, let's get back in here. Yeah, Scotty. Yeah, I say you did a video there. That's what I was announcing. You must have left already. I announced it at the beginning here. Kessel traded to Arizona for Galchenyuk. Trent is saying Perry is 33. He's only 33? I really would have thought he's older. They were both 34. Well, I take it back then. I don't see Perry doing it, but I guess if he signs, like I said, if he signs for the right price for the right term, I guess I can understand. Let me see. Kopiemi has the. I'm not sure what the Oki Center. We drafted him for that, so Paling would have to play wing. I don't see even Paling. I don't think Paling's going to play wing. Personally, I see. I guess I'll be so bold as to say that 2 years down the road, I see the centers being first set. If we don't sign Duchesne, obviously, first center Suzuki, second Kopiemi, third center Paling, and fourth center can be a filler in guy or somebody else. Won't be Thompson at that point. But that's kind of I think Suzuki. They're going to groom him for first center. So I don't know. I don't think Paling's going to be a 1 or 2. He's going to be a 3. He's a two-way guy. He even said it himself. If you watch there was an interview at the camp. He said he sees himself as a two-way guy that can produce offense and be a shutdown guy as well. That to me screams third-line center. I think he's too good to be a fourth-line center, obviously, but it screams to me third-line center, and that's what he sees himself as. And you know what? A third-line center can produce points. So he's a smart player, and he's so much better than at the camp. You could see he was the best guy out there. Okay, I see some about Guy Lafleur. The Habs should clone another Guy Lafleur. My cat is shedding on me. Guy Lafleur, my favorite player of all time. In the summer, I will do a video. I want to do one screen capture type of video for Guy Lafleur. Yeah, if only we could clone Guy Lafleur. Third best, probably, in my mind, the third best Montreal Canadian player ever. I didn't say third best hockey player ever. Third best Montreal Canadian player ever. Crazy Jedi, Eddie Van Haskell. I don't know who Eddie Van Haskell is. Clone Richard too. Let's clone let's clone that team, and whatever team went 4 years in a row, one went 5 years in a row. Let's clone that. God, every time I touch this thing, it moves like crazy. I'm gonna just start in where I think we are. No, I'm backward. Hang on, guys. I'll get there. Okay, here we go. Eventually. There we go. Plant Beauvillier. Who's Beauvillier? Crazy Jedi. Who's Beauvillier? The only Beauvillier I know, I think, is on the Jets. The Rangers or the Jets? Aram. No. Yeah, what kind of... It's not an attitude problem. I'm sure it's like a Drouin problem. Shaw is good. We should trade Drouin and Byron. Well, you know, you might... The thing is, George, you might see actually... I think if they sign Duchesne, you kind of might see all three of them go, depending on who makes the team of the kids. I'm sure Paling... I'm starting looking at myself. I'm sure Paling's making the team. One sec. I'm confident in Paling making the team. I don't think Caulfield will. I know it's exciting to think of it, but I think he needs a year. The talk about Caulfield, by the way, is he's going to go to Wisconsin, but he's not going to last long there. Whether that's only one season or less than one season, it didn't sound like it was going to be longer than that. And I forgot where I was going. Okay. Someone tell me who Beauvillier is, but it's got to be farther down. Let me see. Another Roadrunner, yeah. By the way, anybody actually see the Roadrunner play like I have? This guy, I've never seen anybody else do this, but he can come in. I think he was right-handed. He'd come in, get right at the goalie at the crease, and then flip the stick over to his other hand and shoot left. I don't know how many times I saw him do that. I don't think I've ever seen anybody else do that. Very skilled with his hands. Yeah, George, Scotty's video. I love Scotty's videos too. Everybody, Scotty2 Hockey, another channel you should be watching. Well, I shouldn't be telling you who to watch, but I watch him all the time. Scott, I might not comment every time, but I watch all your videos and always get a like. Let's see, Crazy Jedi, Aram, not attitude, but it's effort. Well, you see, this is what I'm talking about. This is my video is going to be about that. It doesn't look like I'm going to give you a line, if I can remember what I was thinking, because I have it written in my head partially. It doesn't look like he's trying. Okay, he slows the game down. You ever watch a movie where the main character or whatever, they're in a fight scene or whatever, every time they focus on him, it goes to slow motion. And then something happens, and then it speeds up, and then it goes back to slow motion. When Suzuki gets the puck, it's kind of what happens. He slows that game down. It looks like effortless from him. It looks like he's not trying hard. He is. Anyways, I don't want to give away any more, but think about that. And if you go watch highlights of him, have that in your mind when you watch him, because I said this a while ago when I started watching Suzuki highlights and at the Memorial Cup. I noticed when the puck came to Suzuki, it was almost like the game slowed down. And then when he got rid of the puck, it sped up again. He slows, and he does. He slows the game down. Anyway, think about that. I'm going to do a video on it. So hope I didn't give away too much. Let's go. Let's go. I'm going to go farther down because I know I missed a lot. Ivan was only small too, but he's a legend for sure. Yeah, Cornway maybe 5'9". Cornway was not big, and definitely a legend, a great hockey player. When the chips were down, you want a guy like Cornway out on the ice. A true leader. Crazy Jedi, all right. See you next time. Have a good night. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Didn't Kadri put up like 50 points playing third line C? I see Paling as better than him, so no problem in putting. Well, that's third line center. It's not third line like it used to be in my day anyway. Third line isn't necessarily a checking line. That's the fourth line now. Third line has potential to put up points. Paling would make a great third line center, and that's why I don't see Kotkaniemi as a third line center. I see him, especially now that I know their plans. Although I don't know what you do with Deneau. This is a problem. So, and Deneau could be expendable in a couple of years. I could see that happening. But I see Kotkaniemi more as a second line center. And Suzuki is your number one guy when he hits. Maybe not the first year, but he's going to be. Let's get back to Rick. Did I hear about DiCarbo's going? Yeah, Carbo's going to the Hockey Hall, and deservedly so. I'm sure there were other players out there that could have got in, but Carbo deserves to go there. Great defensive forward. Great defensive forward. And again, third line guy that can score a little bit. George, Reed Pitlick or Caulfield? New Yvonne Cornway? Pitlick, yeah, because Pitlick is super fast. Caulfield's not Cornway. Cornway was different. Caulfield's game, this kid knows how to set himself up to score. He knows how to be in position to score. And what I like about his game too, if he loses the puck or there's a turnover, he gets the puck back and he's transitioned. It's like instantaneous transition into offense, and vice versa back to defense. He's great at transitioning back and forth. I really like that about his game. Yeah, Reed Pitlick, super fast. But I made a comment, and I have to see more highlights from it. I think it's on YouTube. I'm going to rewatch the scrimmages. Super fast, can handle the puck, but not great. He's not a finisher. And I think I'm right about that. He's not a finisher, but I like what I see. Two predictions. Duchesne signed 9.5 for 7 years. Habs trade Tatar and Shaw for Nick Leddy and Beauvillier. Oh, it's the Islanders where Beauvillier is. Okay. Yeah, I don't like that personally. I don't like that. But look, it's not to say you're wrong. I don't know any better. I don't think any of us know. I like Leddy possibly being the fill-in guy for the lefty for a couple of years, yeah. But not at the cost of Tatar. I don't think Tatar is going anywhere. Cornway and Caulfield are both 5'7". Well, he's small, Cornway. I know he was small. So there you go. Everybody's worried about 5'7". Not everybody that's 5'7" can play in the NHL, that, of course. But there's guys that can handle themselves. And, from what I've heard, and I haven't really seen a lot of it, but apparently Caulfield's not afraid to throw the body around a little bit. He's not afraid to get into the scrum and the mix and the dirty areas. That's the kind of guy that at 5'7" will make it because he has that drive. He's got the drive, and he's got this shot. What a release on this guy's wrister and snapshot. What a release. And then a rocket comes off the stick. Reed Pitlick, new Johnny Gaudreau. Well, maybe. He's got a few years to go before he's going to reach the NHL, but maybe. If only. I wish him that. I wish him well for that. Caulfield is stocky. He can handle it. Have you seen? I saw pictures of him standing talking to the media. So his back was to the camera. The guy's built. He's got that frame. He's small, but he's got to put a little more muscle up there because he's small. He's got to handle himself a little more. But a year and a half, he's going to be ready. Scotty, signed Duchesne is a mistake. Yeah. We've got good young centers. We can't handcuff ourselves for the future by taking on Tevin cap hit for a 70-point player who loses everywhere he goes. I'm not going to slag him about losing everywhere he goes. Sometimes it's not a player's fault, but at that price, it's gonna. We're gonna have too many centers. Yes, it's nice to have a lot of centers, but there's too many, and you're gonna kind of halt the progress of some of the kids. That's what I think. I think Duchesne's a mistake, and I hope Bergevin. I think Bergevin knows better. Trent McDonald. I don't think they will get rid of Tatar for a while. He's a great player and a cap-friendly contract. Yeah, I mean he's got a cap-friendly contract for what he gives you. He's got a very cap-friendly contract, and he signed for what, another 3 years, I think. I wouldn't get rid of Tatar. I mean, if he has a total drop off next year, and he's I guess, but then you wouldn't be able to trade it anyway. But no, Johnny, let's hope we don't sign Duchesne. We have one too many contracts signed now per the roster limit. Oh, do we? We need room in case one of our prospects makes it. Yeah, of course. But I mean, if they sign Duchesne, there's going to be trades. They're getting rid of somebody. They're going to make room, and I mean they'll make some cap room in doing that. So I mean maybe that's what they're going to do. If you see Duchesne go, you're going to probably see Shaw go, and maybe if it's Shaw and Drouin, I mean that'll pay for Duchesne, I guess, if they're going to sign him. And then okay, it's a different story. You freed up the roster spots, and so there's so many. We're talking about this and that, but there's so many other ways they could go. It's going to surprise us. Whatever they do is going to surprise us. So even if we see Duchesne sign, it's what's going to come after that, because there's going to be stuff coming after that. Ryan O'Reilly, 499 points, 733 games. Matt Duchesne, 547 points in 727 games. No problem with Duchesne. I'm not slagging the guy totally. I don't think he's maybe it's that. I don't think he's a fit here. I don't like the fit, and I could be totally wrong. It's my opinion. But yeah, I mean, it's not to say Duchesne doesn't produce points, but I don't think he produces 70 points a year on a regular basis. No, I just don't think that. And then next year when he does, I'm going to have to say I was wrong. And I could be. That's how hockey works. Let's see now. I love. Okay, I'm not gonna pat myself on that. Thank you, David. What's your thought on Gustav Nyquist to Montreal? Well, I heard there's a rumor about it, but I don't think it's a very strong rumor. But then sometimes those are the ones that happen. So I don't know a lot about Gustav Nyquist. I don't. Isn't he the guy from Detroit? They traded him at the deadline. So he's a little bit older. So I mean, he's an experienced guy. I guess like any of those older guys, if you can get them at the right price for the right amount of term, if that then you have something there, because 2 years as a bridge thing to one of the other, like Romanov comes in, I can see that. But I don't know a lot about Nyquist, honestly. Let's see. I watched the prospect camp scrimmage and saw Suzuki skating hard on the back. Suzuki's not. He's getting a bad rap, I think, a bit. It's because he makes it look so effortless. He really does, and he can be a magician with that stick and the puck. So I think it's. Anyways, I don't want to talk too. Honestly, I don't want to talk too much about it because I'm really doing a video about this. Like I'm writing it as we kind of talk. If you see my hand moving like that, it's because I'm writing. No, I'm not. I'm not yet, but it's being written up here. Start. Okay, let's see now. We're getting some more. Hello from Ottawa, Francesco Yadarosa. Did I get that right? I know they suck. Go Habs. So my question is, do you think Bergevin would take on 2 bad contracts for a first-round pick? I'll fill you in on the suggestions next. Okay, well, fill me in. I don't think so. I don't think he feels he has the cap room anymore to take on a bad contract like he did when he did Armia. I don't think so, and I don't know, unless they make other moves that freeze more contract cap space. No, because you got, like I've been saying, you got to sign Domi. You got a lot of players to sign to use that cap space. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. Taking on bad contracts screws you up for We already have Alsner. They didn't buy him out. Good night, David. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate you. You always ask questions and you're always around. I like that. Thank you. Scotty, Brooks looks like he could play in Montreal now. Yeah. Offensively, definitely. I like the skating. I like his vision. I like the shot. But apparently, I didn't notice it in the scrimmaging, but it's his defense he needs a little work on. So I guess it's possible. I know the offensive side, I think Scotty's got it, but I don't know. I think he's going to spend a full season in Laval. Habs don't have the cap to take on bad contracts for picks. I don't think so. We're loaded with, and we're pretty loaded right now. With, not that we don't need picks. And Trevor Timmins said they're stockpiling for next year because the draft is here in Montreal and they want to have a lot of picks. So they are stockpiling for picks, but I don't think, and that's probably why the question was asked. I don't think that they're going to take on bad contracts for it. Take Frolik and Stone for $7.8 million cap hit for both, but we would get Calgary's first round pick. And they are UFA after this season. Montreal would offer a 6th round pick. So you're saying the cap hit would be for one season? Montreal would give a 6th round pick to get these two guys and Calgary's first round pick. That's Michael Frolik. The Stone guy, I don't know who Stone, I mean, Mark Stone went to Vegas, so it's not him. So I don't know him. I don't know. I'd have to think about that more than just answer that off the top of my head, but I don't think Montreal would do that. David, you live in Sarsfield, Ontario. Village in the Ottawa Valley, and it's very French. Really? Okay, well, there's a lot of parts of Ontario that are French. So, yeah. I used to go to Ottawa on a semi-regular basis. I haven't been in a long time, though. George, does Montreal have $8 million cap space? I believe they have close to 10 or 11. I'm not sure. Francesco, Mike Stone. Okay, I don't know that guy. But no, you know what? Because if you have to, like you said, they're UFA at the end of next season. So if you have to play them for a year, or you're saying you can bury them in the AHL, it's just the cap hit. If you have to play them and have to be on your roster, no, because we don't have space for that either. No, I don't think so. Scotty, I think they have around 9 million. Yeah, it could be 9, somewhere between 9 and 10. And yeah, they have to re-sign Armia and Lehkonen, and they're going to re-sign Domi. And Domi's going to take a $4 or $5 million raise, I would think. I hope they sign Domi really soon. The sooner they sign Domi, the cheaper he's going to be. They signed Riley. They had, and well, Riley was $3 million, but $1.5 million for each year. So, Johnny, one thing I learned from Prospect Camp is that we have a great pipeline of talent. That's it. And that most of these kids need development time. Laval should have a much better team this year. Yes, and at the same time, they're in various stages of development because of the new kids that just came in. You're looking at anywhere from 1 to 4 years, depending on who you're talking about. And then the kids from last year are maybe 1 or 2 are ready, and Paling is from the year before. You know, they're ready now. So the pipeline, it's going to feed itself. As long as the drafting is good, it's going to feed itself. And Laval should have a much better team, I would think. Well, Alsner's not, Trent, Alsner's not playing on the big team. That you can guarantee. Alsner's time in the NHL, as far as being a Montreal Canadian, he's done. George, we should trade Lehkonen like the Washington Capitals did with Burakovsky. Well, the only thing is they've been trying to trade Andre Burakovsky for, like, from what I understand, 3-4 years. So that's not a surprise. And no, I want to see what Lehkonen can do. I think Lehkonen might be on the verge of a breakout. And if you know how so many people had career years last season, I think next season is Lehkonen's year to do that on the team. And you're gonna. So no, I don't want to see Lehkonen go anywhere. And I kind of don't think that he will. Let's see. 8.71 million cap space. Just check cap friendly. So there you go. Under 9 million. So that means, look, if they say we wake up on Monday morning and they've signed Duchesne to 9.5, which means now somebody has to go. Somebody has to go because, and they can't take back. You know, at least with the cap, say that we're looking to get that defenseman. We're going to trade somebody, yes. If we take back a bigger contract, well, we need money for that too. So, yeah. Let's see. You don't save all the dollars if you send Alzner to the minors. No, and even buying out Alzner, you don't save a lot. I think in the long run, if you bought him out this year, like next year's a different story. If they bought him out this year, next year's cap hit is big for it. It's like over 4 million for him, and it's lower all the rest of the years, right? If they buy him out next season, that doesn't happen, so it'll be lower overall. If they bottom out this year, the total savings, I think, would be like 3 million or 4 million. It wasn't a big savings, not worth doing, considering the cost for next year. So I don't think Alzner gets bought out, but he will next year. That's my prediction. If Armia gets 3 and Lekina gets 1.5 or 2, we barely have enough to extend Domi. Well, because somebody's moving. I mean, there's going to be some movement. I think that's clear. You're going to see some movement. And it might be someone like Byron. I think Shaw and Byron are the two most obvious. And depending on how they feel about Drouin. But there's going to be some movement. I mean, in this day and age anyway, you have to, especially when you're carrying contracts like Carey Price's and Shea Weber's, you have to have an influx of young talent that are cheap every year, or you get up against the cap. So yeah, there is a cap hit is over 4 million next year, and that's a huge black hole. Francesco, that's for Alzner. Yeah, that's the problem. Is next year is a big cap hit if you buy him out. But if you wait till next year to buy him out, that's a different story. And then he only has 2, so then if that doubling thing, it's only 4 years your cap hit. It makes a big difference to wait 1 more year. Stone is a D, by the way. Yeah, I get that. Is he a left side D? I have a video explaining the Alzner buyout situation. You'd have to keep 1/3 of his cap hit in the cap. Yeah, it's not worth it. Not this year anyway. Next year, I think next year they might do it. Hello from Russia, Doctor. What is it? Aborigine God? Hey, Russia. Hey, thank you. Thanks for coming in here. How'd you? It boggles my mind that you guys from all over the place found me somewhere. I don't know how that happens, but I'm happy to have you here. What's it like in Russia today? Francesca, yeah, okay. So I get your point. Look, I imagine he's thinking of everything, Bergevin. Maybe he'll consider doing that. So I don't know. And it would be nice to have another first-round pick in the year that you're getting the draft is in your hometown. So yeah, that would be interesting. I definitely think. And who's the other guy? Michael Frolik. He's a winger, I would imagine, right? There will be at least one trade. Sean Byron or strong candidates. Drouin won't get traded unless it's a deal too good to pass up. Yeah. Bottom line is, yeah. No, I think so too. I think Sean Byron are, and if you remember when I did the projected lineup, I couldn't really find a place for Byron, and Shaw was not easy either in a projected lineup. So I kind of think that they're the guys that are gonna go. I mean, Shaw, if you're going to trade Shaw, you got to trade him this year. If not, you got to keep him for the rest of his contract, because I don't think he'll be tradable the same way next year. Rick, are you going to the 2020 draft? I guess I have to consider it, but I'll tell you this. As far as live streams go, that's the biggest live stream of the year. and I don't know if I can based on that. I don't know if it's feasible. And you know, it's not me being the hockey guy did the same thing. He was in Vancouver. He could have gone. He said he wouldn't because it's the biggest live stream of the year for him, and he can't do it. So I imagine I won't because of that. So, but I do intend to do a better job than I did this year. That was my first time. I'll have it set up better, and it'll be better. I think Shaw's getting traded. Yeah, Scotty, I think so too. I hope we sign Kincaid, and I don't at the same time. Lindgren would be a cheaper option. Well, you know, you could sign Kincaid, and I mean, even right after camp, teams are going to be looking for a goalie. I don't think there's ever a point where teams are not going to be looking for a goalie. And even if say you sign Kincaid and you don't move him, you can put him in the AHL for a little bit until you can. I don't know. Kincaid's not going to cost much. Lee Max, who's the next backup for Carey? Well, that's what we were just talking about. McElhaney or Kincaid, I guess, or Lindgren. Those are the three top candidates, I would think. Lottery protected. If you do well, you have currency at the deadline. If you struggle, you can sell it off your assets. It's a win-win situation. Frolik is a winger. Yeah, look, first time I'm hearing about that idea. I wouldn't rule it out. Definitely. You know what? Bergie is he's crafty like that. So, you know, and you know, we talk about this, that, and usually those aren't the deals that are made. It's the ones that are made. It's like, oh, we didn't really even think about that. A lot of times, that's the kind of deal. Like the Galchenyuk for Kessel. Was that talked about? I didn't hear that anywhere. I know they were both being shopped, but I didn't hear them as trade partners. I didn't hear that. Did anybody hear that about Kessel and Galchenyuk before the trade happened? I didn't. His value's high. This time last year, you couldn't trade him if you wanted to. I like Shaw, but he wasn't good in Montreal until this year. No, I agree. And he had a career year. So who's to say that next year he doesn't drop back to his 30 points, 30-odd points, right? So if somebody wants him, you have, as long as you're not getting, like I love to say, a bag of pucks back for him, you know, I guess you do it. I would. Hang on a second. I got a drink. Aaron, do teams not trade with Montreal because they don't want to see another cup go to the Canadiens? No, I don't think that's it. No, you know, it's not that. The problem here is probably taxes. So a lot of players don't want to come here, and a lot of players have no trade clauses, and they get to say where they want to go. So that's the problem, I think. Plus, Montreal has been kind of, I don't want to say crappy or shitty because it's my team, but they haven't been a contender for a long time. Team free agents and stuff want to go to contenders. Guys that want to be traded, they want to get traded to a contender. And I think that's mostly it. But do people not want to see Montreal get a cup? I don't think that's the case. There are. Toronto doesn't. Boston doesn't. I get that, obviously. But I think in general, no. I'd be surprised to hear that would be a thing. We traded Alex DeBrincat and a second for Shaw. Well, I think that's one of the reasons why it's one of the contributing factors why they took Cole Caulfield, is they missed the boat on DeBrincat, and they didn't want to miss the boat a second time. And it's not me saying that. I heard that mentioned before, because I didn't know that draft pick was DeBrincat. So Montreal did, when Caulfield came up, they didn't want to miss the boat a second time. And I'll tell you, my guy Newhook, I saw a couple of, not that I don't like Caulfield, I do, but Newhook, geez, did you guys see the highlight goal? It was on Twitter. The kid looks great. So if they would have gone either way, it was great. It's going to be great. Caulfield's going to be good. The kid's a professional goal scorer. You put him anywhere, he's going to score goals. You can see the way he sets up for it. He knows he already knows what he's doing. A couple more years, he's going to be like DeBrincat. How often can you buy a first-round pick for under $8 million? Well, I don't know. I don't know if there's an answer to that. It depends. Look, if they think Frolik and Stone can fit into their plans for a year or so, I guess it's a year, right? Because they're UFA. Then I guess that it depends. I wouldn't do it. I personally, I wouldn't do anything that jeopardizes the plan that they have. He has a plan. It's clear. Bergevin and Timmins, they have a plan. I wouldn't jeopardize that. They're on the right track. You can't keep going left or right. You got to sometimes just keep going straight. Don't veer off. Stay the course. That's the saying. And when you have what you got in the cupboard, like all these kids, if you stay the course, some of these guys are going to come up and be solid to really good NHLers. And there might even be a star player somewhere in there, which I think is what Nick Suzuki is going to end up being. And Paling too, and Kokanyemi. I don't know if you can have a team full of stars, but I think the ceilings are really high on these guys. Let's see. Can see Shaw going back to Chicago for a fourth rounder. Fourth rounder is not enough. I mean, I don't know. If you need to make room though, like if you're making cap space, that's a good. Yeah. If you've brought in somebody, yeah. But I think he might get a third rounder for Shaw. Habs need cap space for Duchesne. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want them to get Duchesne, but yeah, they do. If they're going to sign Duchesne, they need to make some cap space. Francesco, yeah, but they wouldn't be because they're improving their prospect pool. Take on some bad contracts. No, I get it. I get it. Come on. Come on. You want to come up? Now it's my dog's turn. Woohoo! Say hi, Ray. Say hi, Ray. I just gave her a trim today. Say hi, baby. You want to say hi? You look in the camera? You're looking in the camera. She's camera shy. And there's another cat, but I don't want her to go on my computer. No, you can't. Sorry, Kira. Too much. Sorry, guys. It's the Dog and Pony Show. Reed Pitlick got 60 goals in 71 games. But, okay, I think you have to take into account where he played. If I'm correct, it was high school. Not a great league. So he has some work to do. But, yes, he was a scoring machine in a league that, there's some good players, but they're mostly not good players. So I would take that with a grain of salt. But I don't believe Montreal drafted him because he was a good player in a shitty league. There's something to him. So, yes, he can score, but can he score like that with better competition? I don't know. That's what we're going to find out. George, he got 129 in 71 games. So Oh, okay. Yes, but remember he played in the USHS. Yeah, it's not a great league, so you got to take that into account. But yes, is he a good prospect? Yes, 100%. I'm not trying to slag on Pitlick. It's just that Pitlick, he's going to need 2-3 years at least. I think it's a minimum 2, 3, 4 maybe. So we'll have to see. It's okay. You can come in. Don't worry. Sorry, my roommate's home. Okay, so hearing that Montreal among the 3 teams showing interest in veteran, well, yeah. Montreal, I know I've been saying for a while Montreal is going to be interested in McElhinney without a doubt. I mean, how could they not be? He'd be like ideal for one because I think was not the hockey guy. I'm not sure who I heard say this, but they figured that he would get signed for 1 year or wherever it was, but get a decent raise because he was making like peanuts, like $1.5 million for McElhinney. But you might have to sign him for 2, but $3 million 2 years for McElhinney, well worth it. And Montreal's been, as far as I know, mentioned, and I've been mentioning it for a while. So, can Weber play out his contract? No, probably not. But did you see what kind of contract he had? One of those upfront money contracts. There's very little money to pay out at the end, and there's only cap hit. I think he's getting like $1 million in the last 2-3 years. So, yeah, it's not a horrible contract as far as salary you have to pay him, which means that if he retires earlier than that, Nashville's on the hook for the big cap hit because of the upfront money. And it's like Toronto today signed Janssen and blanking on who that was, the other one, to contracts, and they're each getting like 4 or 5 million up front on July 1st. Most of the money of the contract is up front first year on signing day. So teams that have money can afford to do that. And this is not off my head. I got this from the hockey guy. I just watched that today. But it's true. They're getting upfront money. And what's his name? Weber has that contract where he got so much upfront that there's so little left to pay him at the end. But the cap hit is going to be there. But if he retires early, there's something. It's like with Luongo. Vancouver got on the hook for $3 million a year for cap hit because of that. So it'll be on Nashville. And I hope I'm right about that. I didn't see that whole, I mean, I saw some stuff about it, and I believe that is how it works. I like more Kincaid. Yeah, I'm good either way. Kincaid's got good numbers with New Jersey, all that. Yeah, I'm good either way. I lean more towards McElhinney. The reason why McElhinney for me is McElhinney can start. He's proven he can start for half. Like if Carey Price gets hurt for a length of time, I feel way more comfortable having McElhinney as the starter than Kincaid. That's the reason why I like McElhinney first, but Kincaid is a okay plan B. The other suggestion was Sam Gagner and Brandon Manning and their first rounder from Edmonton for Antoine Wicked. I don't know who Wicked is. Sam Gagner, I know. Manning, I think I know. He's a defenseman, I think. He's got problems or something. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I'd never heard of Armia before, and so who knows? He might be looking at stuff like that. According to Pierre Lebrun, it was Peanut, not now, please. Yeah, no, I know that. I saw that on Twitter. The cap it would be around $5 million, though. That is amazing for a first-round pick. Yeah. As long as it's not a long cap hit. I mean, if it's a one-year cap hit, I can see that. They have the room for 1 year. Yeah, I figured Waken was I don't know him. I don't know. Although I shouldn't say that. I think I've seen the name before. I don't know anything about him, though. Quentin, hi. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming in. I put some stuff up to the camera and I'm still looking at myself. But I'm better this time. Where are you from, buddy? Quentin Bullbeer, you make me think. You want a beer? I don't have any beer at home right now. I do have water, which I'm in need of. Home of the Habs on your top. I'm in like I post in I think 10. I don't think Home of the Habs is one of them. I don't think, I'm not sure, but there's that one. I think I tried. They don't let you post your own videos or something like that. But I post in like 10 other places on Facebook. All Montreal Habs, Montreal Canadiens groups. Plus I have my own group, which is closed, and I don't know why it is closed. I can't seem to reopen it, even though my setting is for it to be open. So I guess if you want to, I have Talking Habs with Rick. I have a page and a group on Facebook, and you can ask to join. I don't know how you do that, but if you go on there and you can say ask to join, do that, and I will accept you as a member. It's just that it's for some reason it's closed, and I checked on my settings and it should be open, but it's not. And apparently that's a problem with a lot of pages. Let me get to this. But so if you haven't heard that, Talking Habs with Rick, there's a page, and there's a Talking Habs with Rick group on Facebook. Anybody want to go join up? Please do. I post all my videos there too. Let's see. Ben Hutton might come to the Habs, and I know him. I don't know. Hutton I haven't heard of. So I guess you'll have to inform us a little bit. Who's Hutton? And you know him personally? Johnny Golden, Cam Fowler will be next one addition for the Habs. Is he on Bergie's radar? I would imagine depending on what they're asking for. I don't think he's gonna. Oh, God, this chair I'm sitting on. When you get older, your ass kind of hurts when you sit a lot. You need padding. I imagine the rumor's been out there a long time about Fowler, so I haven't heard anything about that for a little while, so I don't know. What's it called? Where I post or mine? Yeah, it's called the Talking Habs with Rick group. You might have to put the whole thing Talking Habs with Rick group. I'm not sure. And there's a page Talking Habs with Rick page. So yeah, I think you might have to put the with Rick part, and you might have to put the group and page part. I'm not sure, but you go there. And imagine if you go there, there's say you can ask to join. Just do that, and I will. Next time I'm on Facebook, I will. I will join you up. How many players from development camp do you see playing in Montreal at some point this year? Paling, possibly Suzuki, Leskinen, possibly. I think that's it. I didn't see, and maybe Brooke. I'll give that Brooke maybe. Of everybody, I liked a lot of other players that I saw, but I don't think anybody else has the possibility of making the team this year. So, and look, there may be a surprise there, but so I could repeat that if I remember it. Paling, Suzuki, Leskinen, and Brooke. Paling for sure. Paling, I think you can write it down. Paling on the team. Quinton said yes. Canada. Wait, I asked you where you're from, and I got to scroll back up to see. Yeah, Canada. Cool. And I'm not sure what I asked you. Oh, well, who is? Do you know him? Yes. So is he what, a prospect of? Is he a Habs prospect? D from Vancouver. Oh, he's a Vancouver Canuck. Okay, I have never heard of him. Hey, no problem, Francesco. Anybody else too? Just go there and I don't do a lot. I post my stuff there, but I don't do a lot because there's not a lot of members really. So, and I'm kind of still learning that stuff. But if you want to get in there and be members, I'm planning to do a lot more with my Facebook page. It just time gets away from me sometimes. It's a lot of learning doing this. I like I said before, I love it, but oh my God, there's a lot to learn to do, and some things take a lot of time to do. So yeah, it can be tough, but it's the best job I ever had. It's not a job yet, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. With your guys' help, I mean, I'm going to predict by the beginning of training camp, I should be doing this for a living. Not a huge living at first, obviously, but I could actually say it's my job. It is now. I do it full time, but yeah. Sam Pinard, what's up with you? What's up? I'm doing a live stream. Not much, just doing my YouTube stuff. Like I was just saying about YouTube, it takes up a lot of time. It's like I don't have time for a girlfriend. Let me put it that way. If I had a girlfriend right now, I wouldn't be able to do as much as I'm doing. Yeah. Eventually, though, yeah. I'll get some help. I've got 3 kids. I got one that I think is gonna, if he's watching, I don't think he knows yet, but I think he's gonna help me in the behind the scenes for the stuff I can't do, editing and stuff like that. I mean, you can see by the beard, I'm not young. Now I'm 56, so while I can do computer and I can do way more stuff on computer than I ever thought I would ever be able to do, the tech stuff isn't really my thing at all, and I can get really lost in tech stuff. So yeah, my youngest is 17. He just graduated from high school, looking for what to do, what to get into. So we'll see. I'm hoping he'll be able to help me. Let's get back to you guys. I think they'll give Caulfield 9 games. Yeah, about Suzuki too. I kind of think Suzuki's going to get 9 games. Paling, I think you don't have to worry about 9 games. Paling's in. It's Suzuki, and I can see Caulfield getting 9 games, but Caulfield, as much as I said I think he's going to try to make the team and not go to college, it's looking like he's going to go to college, but he's not super happy about it, I'm going to say. But I think the Habs want him to go to college for at least a year or some part of a year. That's my, what's the word? That's what I interpret from what I'm reading about it and seeing. Let's see. Quinton says he's a defense. Yeah. Hutton. I guess he's a prospect or he's an actual player because I shouldn't say I haven't heard of him. The name's starting to sound familiar. I've heard of a Hutton. Excuse me. I guess the hockey guy was talking about him. Do I think Drouin could finally break out of his slump next season and start playing to his full potential? See, this is the gamble. This is the risk of keeping Drouin. Does he break out, which he's never done yet in his career? He has never had a full season where he has just given his all and produced big points. He hasn't done that yet. Does he do that next season? That's the gamble. Because if he doesn't do that next season, his trade value really goes down a lot. So I say this, if you can find a deal where you actually bring back equal potential value as Drouin or actual equal value, you do it. I'm not big on his attitude. And I'm going to compare my video that I've been talking about of Suzuki. I'm going to compare Suzuki and Drouin and their attitudes and see if they're the same. That's my goal for writing. That's what I have in my head. Sometimes writing it out doesn't come out the same way, but that's what I'm going to attempt to do. But I want to compare Suzuki and Drouin and the perceived attitude that Suzuki might be a little lacking in effort, and Drouin just needs to break out, or does he lack in effort, and that's his big problem. So, giving it away. Well, anyway, that's going to be a video in the next couple of days. And by the way, summer's here. You might notice I'm slowing down a little bit on videos. I'm not stopping videos, but I'm slowing down a little bit because there's less ideas, and I kind of want to give more value to each video. I want to step up my game a little bit at this point. So there might be a little bit less content, not a ton. And this Saturday night thing is going to be every Saturday, so this is guaranteed. Barring we had a thunderstorm just before it happened, so barring a power failure, which I thought was going to happen, yeah, I'll be here Saturdays. I'm the kind of guy, when I commit to something, I do it. I'll be there. Okay. Yeah. So I also want to say probably Monday, a week from Monday. So I'm probably going to take a few days off, 3, 4, maybe as much as a week off. I'm not sure 100%. I promise to produce 2 videos on my week off, but that'll be it. And then get back to a regular. So just letting you guys know that. Maybe I should read some of the stuff you're asking me. Johnny, I like the start of this. When you get older, I've got socks older than you, Rick. Okay, Johnny, I don't know how old you are. I know you're my age or older. We've gone through that, but it sounds like you're a bit. Anyways, I'm 56, so yeah, I'm old enough. In some places, I'm considered a senior. 55, you are. Not in the places that count, though. Steven, hey there. YouTube is fun, Steven. Glad you came in. I'm going to do another about 15 minutes or so, so we'll go like to an hour and a half. King Angus. Hey, Rick. Hey, King Angus. How's it going? I shouldn't say, hey, Rick. I'm Rick. How's it going, buddy? Ben Hutton. He wasn't extended a qualifying offer from the Canucks, which I'm surprised because he's pretty good. Okay. Well, then he'll be a free agent. Yes, I know him. He's a family friend. Well, that's really cool. I've never known anybody that played in the NHL, that's for sure. I really would have liked that. I think that's pretty cool. Philly 5-0. So the deal is Zaitsev and Brown for CC. Brown. I don't know Brown on that. Is that a prospect or he's a player? That's good for Toronto. So any Toronto fans out there, I think that's a good deal for you guys. CC's got to be way better than Zaitsev. And I don't know Brown. I don't know who he is, but I'm pretty sure it's a good deal. I may not be chatting, but I do have the stream open in the background. No problem, Stephen. You're allowed to take part any way you want. I'm happy you're here and listening. I'll try to entertain you. This is new for me too. Who do you think won the Kessel Galchenyuk trade? Hands down, Pittsburgh. For me, I don't like Kessel. I really don't. I don't think he's good for a hockey team. He'll produce some points. I get that, but he's not good. He's not a defensive player. Not going to give you anything there. I think overall it's a good move for Pittsburgh. Has the most. I'm going to say there's a higher ceiling for Pittsburgh, I believe, because Galchenyuk, look, he'll put you up. You can pencil him in for about 50 points, and if he has if he gets back to what he was doing here in his good years, he'll get you 60, 65. And on a team like Pittsburgh, he might start producing that. It might be a team where, you got Sidney Crosby. He's going to make you play. So, yeah, I think Pittsburgh wins that. I don't like Kessel, so anywhere Kessel is, I think they lose. Philly, Connor Brown, good player. I've heard of him. I don't know much about him, but okay. So it's Zaitsev and Connor Brown for CC. So that's CC. That's in the Senators, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, the Senators. I don't know what they're doing. It's hard to make head or tail of what exactly is going on in Ottawa. Quentin knows Leo Boivin also. I've heard of him. I don't know offhand though. Francesco, my dad knows Jason Spezza. I went to school with his brother. See, Spezza's another guy. Sometimes has trouble being motivated, if I'm right. No? Spezza's not always 100% motivated. So for some reason, also another guy I wouldn't have wanted them to get, or I don't know if he's out there and available, but I don't want them to get him. I don't know what it is about Spezza, but there's something I don't like about him. Johnny, Drouin said at the end of the season he was going to try and figure out why his production went down the drain. I could tell him it's his lack of compete level. Yeah, there's a story out that he's trying to get into better condition, so he's hoping that the better conditioning will help his game. No, if you don't have that compete level, it's not going to help your game. I think you got it right on the nose that it's a compete level problem. Guy's got talent galore, and he can skate and he can do all that, but he doesn't bring that compete level every night. As a matter of fact, he doesn't bring it more often than not. He doesn't bring it. That's the biggest problem. If a guy like that, if Drouin would say once every 10 games he doesn't show up, I could take that. But with him, it's more like once every 10 games he shows up. It's not that bad, but let's see now. Penguins won 2 cups because of Kessel. You say because of Kessel, though? Okay, Philly, you're down there. Although you guys are rivals, I guess. I don't know. Are you Penguins fan at all? But what do you think of that trade? Let me know what you think. Quentin says he knows a lot of NHL players for some. Well, consider yourself lucky. I would love that. I wish I knew some more. I wish I knew some. How can hockey players not be motivated to compete? They're getting paid millions for a game they love. Yeah, well, I agree with you 100% in your whole thing there, but it's like anything, when you're so used to something, you're so used to the adoration, to this, they tell you you're great. Don't forget, their ego is fed. Some people, when their ego is fed, they don't care to work. They don't need to. They're good enough. It's what happens. I have a feeling that's Drouin's problem is. People are saying shouldn't be down on Drouin, shouldn't be down. Maybe we need to be more down on him and kick his ass a little bit, and he'll get his ass in gear, and then maybe we'll see him have some compete level. Being better conditioning, I don't think that's going to fix his compete level. But that's me, right? Let's see. How can hockey player? Oh, I read that. Drouin should not be making 5.5 and be a ghost on the ice. We need to trade. Well, that's the thing. That's the whole point. He's getting decent money. I think especially for a player for what he's produced so far, he's maybe being overpaid a little bit. But yeah, he should have no. Give me 500,000. I'll be getting up for every game, no problem. 5.5 million. Come on, how do you not get up for it? But then again, like I say, if you're ego's fed, you think you're better than you are. Maybe that's what he's going through. So he needs a freaking psychiatrist or something like that. Something like that. Sports therapy, whatever they call it. Some fans today don't understand that salary cap is the law of the land. If they don't care what UFA gets paid, don't get mad when your favorite players lose. Well, that's it. And look, Bergevin said that. He doesn't want to bring in somebody that's going to, or how did he say it? The guys he was picking at the draft, he doesn't want to have to trade them away when they come eligible because of somebody that he pays as a free agent. And that's what you're facing. You pay a guy like Duchesne now, you have no money for the kids coming up. And remember, kids today don't want the bridge contracts. It's rarer to have less money on a bridge contract. And Matthews' new contract at 5 years changes like all these. It's kind of a bridge contract, but it's big money. So you see kids coming out after their ELC, they want big money, and that's a problem. So you got to be prepared for that. Okay, lots of questions coming now, and it jumped around. Okay, wait a second now. I got too far ahead. Okay. Okay, Johnny, is that a stolen statement? I see. Well, it's not a stolen statement. It's something that's going out there. I agree 100% about that, and I've been saying that. Mike A, I think the fact that so many people were down on him this year was a wake-up call. Well, I'm hoping, but he's not talking the way I want to hear from someone that's woken up. Someone who's woken up and said, "Oh, you're right, it's me," isn't saying, "Well, I'm going to get in better condition and that's going to fix my game." That's still somebody looking for an excuse for why he doesn't have the compete level. If I would hear him say the right things, I would believe better, but I don't hear him saying the right things. Let's see. The fact that Yzerman got rid of Drouin from Tampa says a lot. I can't disagree. Decent, he's making more than Domi, and he produced 72 points last season. That's why you see there's another point. Domi's got to get paid. Domi's going to get a readjustment to his contract. So there's got to be money for Domi. Where are you going to get the money if you give it all away to Duchesne? Yeah, you can trade. There'd be some, but you've got so many players to trade. No, stop looking at myself. I must like the way I look or something. I don't know. Yes, Trent from Twitter. What's that from Twitter? Well, yeah, but I'm saying the same thing, Johnny. Don't worry. It's Hey, listen. I don't. I'm not a reporter. I'm not at the games. I can't go around. I can't talk to the players. I've got to get it from somewhere. So I'm getting it from Twitter and all that. I know you guys are reading a lot of the same things. There's a lot of people out there, like our friend from Russia. I know there's Alexander's in Sweden. There's people out. They don't get maybe the same access to the stuff we get. I don't know if they get the same stuff on the internet. I don't know, especially with that new Article 13 law. So we're kind of giving them the news. But yeah, we get it all from the same place. I've had some comments where people are saying, "Yeah, I read that just the other day." Well, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm reading a bunch of stories, and I'm trying to write my opinion on what I'm reading about. So that's what I do. And when it comes to the day, hopefully there'll be a day where maybe the Habs discover me and I can come to the games and watch. Hey, I'd be happy to go to the games and report from the games. Believe me, I'd be happy to. Okay, so now that I got that, was that a rant? I don't know. Was that a rant? I don't think so. Let me scroll a little bit because I'm out. Skeptics. Beware of you skeptics. You'll be dazzled by the DDD line. Daniel, I hope so. Believe me, my hope isn't that Drouin is lousy and he's a bum. My hope is he fixes it or he goes somewhere else and we're happy. But if he's going to stay here, I hope he's damn good and he finds his game. I hope I'll be going, wow, Drouin, did you see that? Wow, Drouin has been so good. I want to do that. But I don't feel that that's going to be forthcoming anytime soon because he's like the Tin Man, needs a heart. And that's a hard criticism, and I get that. And believe me, he can outplay me any day of the week. Not saying that, but it's clear he doesn't have the same drive that Galley has, that Domi has, that takes the extra attempt, that second effort when he's falling down, making a play still. I don't see Drouin doing that ever. So hopefully he'll prove me wrong. Gardner or Duchesne to Montreal? Neither, hopefully. Although Gardner fills more of a need at least, but he's going to be expensive. So no, I say no. I'd rather see somebody come in who's cheaper. Although Letty's not that cheap, he's not that far, but it's still going to be $1 million or so cheaper than a Gardner. That can fill the gap. And believe me, if you sign a Gardner, you're probably committing for 7 years. I don't like that. If you bring in a Letty's contract is 3 years. He can be gone after that. If you bring in another guy who's already signed, you only have that length of term. And then because we got Romanov, we got a few guys coming up. They're coming up. They are going to make this team. I'm very excited for this team next year, no matter what happens on free agent day. 100%. There's so much to look forward to from this team right now. Definitely on the upswing. But again, stay the course. If they don't stay the course, it becomes erratic, and then every year we don't know what's going to happen. If they stay the course and keep doing what they're doing right now, as bad as he might have been in the first 5 years, I don't downplay that. But right now they're on the right course. If they stay that, things are good here in Montreal. Hey Rick, I got some of my news from an app on my phone called Fansided. Oh yeah, I get an email from Fansided every day with their stories of the day. As a matter of fact, they've given me some ideas. I've used some of their stories to write a story. I read a bunch of things when I have an idea or I see something online that this is going to be good. So then I go and read what I can and find out what I can about it, and then I try to put together a story. And you know what? Less and less do I need. I read everything, but do I need to keep going back and I got to reread that and see? I'm getting it more from myself now. It's starting to come. I never did any writing before. This is my first. Never took any courses, never. So I'm kind of learning on the fly, and it's starting to come. It's starting to come more from me. So I don't know if you guys notice it in my videos, but unless I'm doing a scouting report, obviously I can't do a scouting report on a guy. I'm not like Draft Dynasty, who's freaking great. I don't know how to scout exactly. I should maybe learn, but yeah, what I was saying. I totally lost that track. That's what happens when you get older, right, Johnny? Maybe not for you, but for me. October 7th is like my New Year's Eve. October 7th. Oh, that's the first day of the season. Can Caulfield make the team next year? Hey, Dan. I haven't said hi. I don't think so, but I do think, I don't know if it was Trent or somebody else said, I think they'll give him up to the 9 games. I'm not talking to myself. Stop talking to yourself. Talk to them. Yeah, I don't think he'll make the team next year. No. If he does, it would be later into the season. But I think he's actually going to go to Wisconsin. Even though and I think he could use a year down in the CHL or Laval or college, wherever he's going to play. I think that will help him. But definitely, he has an NHL shot. He's a professional goal scorer. He will make the NHL. He will be a good NHLer with very solid to really good numbers. So that's my prediction. It's on camera. It's a real problem. You know, when you're bullshitting with your friends, you make predictions, you can always go back, hey, I never said that. I can't do that. Okay, Francesco, the suggestions that I was talking about. Okay, we're almost at the end. We'll do another 5 minutes. I was talking about today is on the app. The headline is called Montreal Needs to Make a Marlowe Kind of Trade. It was a couple of days ago. Well, you know, I've seen a bunch of articles for probably, I was going to write an article about that to do the similar thing like they did with Armia. But I thought about it, and sometimes I need to percolate on an idea for a few days at least till I can get an angle to write. If I don't find the right angle, I can't really do a story. So I was thinking about it, and it seemed more or less and less likely that they might do that at that time. So I didn't write the story. But it's been out there for at least, I'm going to say, a couple of months that they might do this. And